So look at your G Fuel key player matchup for the match that will decide who is getting third. Is it Aqua from Rise Nation or Shani from Red Reserve walking away with this one?
Time to step it up. These two teams are fighting for that third seed, and it will all be deciding on that seed of champs.
Look out for Aqua when it comes to the search and destroy. You got the Hardpoint edge for Shani, and Hardpoint game number 1 is coming up your way right now. There's a look at Rise Nation. They caused the 3-0 upset to start the day. Now looking to steal third place from Red Reserve. And this is a situation Red Reserve has been in the past. You remember stage 1, they looked like they might be a squad to move on to playoffs. Elevate on the third day came and stole it away as Red fell to the 4th place.
Yeah, and Red Reserve, they'll be kind of having that in the back of their head as just kind of another disappointment, but they've got to put that right to the back of their head and play for this third seed. It is important, and it will come to show at the most important tournament of the season, of course. COD Champs just around the corner. But as we see things kick off here, throwback Hardpoint. We've talked all week about Red Reserve. They've been saying this is their best Hardpoint by a mile. Can they take this away from Rise Nation? It'd be a great start to the series for them.
I was talking to Rated, on Twitter. He was saying, I wish I wasn't so ill. I wish this cough would go away. I asked him, hey, how are you feeling today? He said, I feel great. I feel gassed up. I feel like today is going to be our day. They just got blown out by EU United. It wasn't the way they wanted to go in the best of 5. Now they have to fight for it all here. You don't want to match up against a top 4 seed when it comes time for the COD Champs groups. They know that, and they're going to be bringing their best against Rise Nation. Rise off to a bit of a slow start as it's Red Reserve into the barn. Facenta trying to change that around.
Yep, Red Reserve, they will gather control of it. As we do see another challenger, that's Felony, someone who has stepped it up on day 3. Maybe a little bit late to qualify for playoffs, but going into, as we say, the biggest tournament of the year, this is where they need to shine. Joe making light work of Faceno, slapping another magazine in that one with the help of Shawnee. They will retain the barn. And you know what? They're going to gather a 40-point lead here and head over to the bike path shortly, but still challenging Facento. Only 15 seconds left, and he's still gunning for this one. Actually, quite surprised at that, because what this does do, if you look at the minimap, Shawnee's already rotating over. Red Reserve not only could get the rotation, but also the scrap points.
74 points for Red Reserve after just 2 hills. Great start to game number 1 here. And Shani, he pre-aims for the jump. Player stays grounded, and it'll be a Rise holding on for control, at least for now. Looney jumping in, trying to answer back. Will retake the claim on the hard point, and you look at the numbers here. Felony has had the hot hand. Aqua off to another slow start. He did it against Splice, but the other 3 from the team on Rise Nation were going off.
Yeah, they're stepping it up, and it's kind of, the opposite of Rise Nation's year, if you like. Aqua has been, their best player and that slay-heavy player as well, so for him to have a bit of a sloppy game, the rest of his team pick it up, that's what they need. But with 60 points down, we'll be headed to the baseball field so soon, and that's the money hill. That's where you want to get the most of your time. Use your payloads, of course, not in the game just yet, but 82 to 27 with 10 seconds left. Red Reserve, it doesn't look like they're letting the United loss affect them too much.
Keep your eyes on 6 and 3. Looney is player 6. Player number 3 on the other end is going to be Joe. They were battling for control of the baseball field, and it looks like Looney's teammate's going to help clear the way. But now 2 down. It's Red Reserve pushing forward, and Urban is going to find the 3rd on Felony.
First blood so important over to the baseball. Aqua still at the back, making Rated take an L on that one, but we see the mini-map, all Red Reserve here. Bit of a missed time in there from Shawnee over in bowling, but a 70-point lead and 30 seconds left. This is all coming down for these next couple of kills. Traded out in Rise Nation. They shut it down a 3-2 position, and Aqua, again, he seems to be heating up towards this second side now.
Red Reserve, are they going to regroup and hit together? Because Shawnee was the last one there. He needed to pick off 2 players. They're a bit staggered. 17 points to go, and they want to contest for every last second. They've doubled up on Rise Nation's score. Well, you don't want to give away any free time. It looks like everyone is going to back down after losing the gunfights at Blue. And Red Reserve is going to try and take over the center of the map. Only Aqua left up for Rise before being cleared out.
Okay, first rotation done and dusted. 40-point lead here for Red Reserve. But the last couple of minutes, Rise Nation showing signs of light and going into the train platform. They do have control. Joe, that E-Rad going to be so powerful. Long range, close range, and he's going to find another. And maybe the slide in, but the help comes away. And Shawnee will trade out with Facento. But still, no one's in the hill. And this, for me, is not really a bad play. This is simply just getting that map control, especially for Red Reserve. If you're in the lead, you don't need to be the one jumping on the hard point. You can simply play for those payloads, those score streaks, and it's exactly what they're doing.
And here we go on board with Aqua from Rise Nation. His squad fighting back in this game after controlling baseball. Not any control for either team in the center of the map, as you mentioned. And a map like Throwback, this is one of the few hard points where you could see the time expire. There's 5 minutes on the clock unless the hill is untouched or contested. 122 and counting, though, for Red Reserve as they double up the lead one more time. Urban takes control of the barn early, has 2 players to beat, gets 1, now looking for the second.
Yep, and Red Reserve showing why this is their most favorable hard point. They controlled barn the whole time last time. Can they do it again with 50 seconds? A lot of points. And look at that mini-map once again. I know I've referred to that a couple of times, but you see those blue triangles. They're spawning so far out, and this is all Red Reserve's doing. They're playing this so smart. They've got Joe pushing round, and you know what? He's trying to hit the flank as well. He's going to catch Facento off guard. Can he find a second?
While that was going on, Joe left and turned the corner just as Felony slipped past him. So Felony's in the hill. He was looking for Urban. Felony is going to get cleaned up. Nice team shot, but at the end, it's Rise Nation with early control. Rated trying to battle his way back in. The NV4 at this angle, not the gun you want here. Rise still fighting. It's still being contested, though. And finally, it should be Rise picking up the last 10 seconds, but a great job by Red Reserve to stall that out.
Yeah, just kind of holding them to it. You know, those last 20 seconds, they could have rotated, but they delay that, and that 40-point lead that they did have going into the second half now has grew to nearly 70 points. We're going to the bike path once again, which this is where Rise Nation turned it around last time and started to come back, but that kill feed is all red right now. We're going to see payloads shortly coming into the game. We've already seen an FTL coming in for Urban and Red Reserve. But again, look at those blue triangles. They're spawning so far out, and this Shawnee's doing this time. He's pushing up. He's putting the pressure on. And of course, part of your GPU key player matchup, Shawnee and Aqua. Right now, it is all Shawnee.
Looney's looking to hunt down the final player. Is Joe in the back. Remember, first time we went to baseball, it was Joe versus Looney in the anchor battle. Looney's looking for Joe, who just shows himself, but you see the kill feed. It's been red up until now. Aqua trying to open things up. Looney will find his second kill, and Facento finally flanks the round. Baseball spawns in favor of Rise at the perfect time. Looney distracting, but a nice flank by Felony and Facento to lock it in.
This is just what they need, and it's coming at the right time here. They are back against the wall. They are in a bit of a difficult position, but if they can control ball in, they can get back into the game. 2 players go down. That is not what you want, as we see Shawnee storming through the hill, picking up a second as well. Does get taken down as Aqua finds himself fighting for survival there. But no, Urban, again, smart play. He doesn't need to get in the hill. He's going to get tagged from behind, this time by Looney. But of course, those points and time is dwindling down. This is a very good position for Red Reserve here if they can break through.
Red Reserve is going to have a tough time fighting past. Looney slowed them down on the initial push. Now you see it's player 6. It's Looney again coming off spawn, causing problems. Facento in the hill with the NV4, and they've just sent Aqua out to the middle of the map to get these cuts kills. He picked up 2 before finally falling, and now that is all 4 dead for Rise Nation. Red Reserve is going to pick up your last 8 seconds and be the first to be around that 200-point mark as we rotate back to the center of the map.
That's a big 10 seconds as well. You know, that kind of mental stage of getting to that 200 mark where you're sat at 120. It's not nice for the likes of Rise Nation. 3 players are going to be coming off respawn, and that middle platform should be controlled by Red Reserve. Again, they're not opting to jump on it straight away. They're looking to slay. And this is obviously their game plan. This is why they feel so confident at it, and it's working for them. 80-point lead going into this 3rd rotation right now. And Rise Nation, the thing that they need to change, they need to start rotating better, and they need to start simply slaying. They were doing it in their previous game against Splice. Can they do it against Red Reserve? They need to turn it around now.
Keep your eyes on payloads as well. Felony, he's got his FTL jump, but most importantly, Facento so close to that camo. Looney about a kill away from unlocking his reactive. On the other side, you're going to see some camos come in from Red Reserve. All 4 players nearing their payloads, and Shawnee already has the reactive whenever he wants to pop that.
Well, Aqua, we saw his KD beforehand on on Hardpoint, obviously just below the 1 mark. He's 19 and 30. Not what you want. Felony definitely stepping up here on day 3, but Red Reserve as a combined effort, they're making it a little bit too tough as we see a 60-point lead now. And Red Reserve, who controlled the barn for the first 2 rotations, they're actually going to have to fight for it back here, but there's only 1 player in it. I believe it's Looney. And just like that, it's Red Reserves.
Joe's been so good. He's been battling with Looney, and even though he's -1, I've seen him win some big gunfights on the minimap. That one there started with a flank. Looney comes in, though, pops the reactive, and picks up 2. So excellent job by the captain, again, with the SMG, causing problems for Red Reserve. But Red, they're just 30 points away from victory. Rise needs to play this one nearly perfect to close it out.
Very smart use of reactive at the right time as well there, coming in from Looney. So we'll see if the payloads are as effective from the rest of the team and players. You got 1 player coming on the flank, that's Urban. He's got his FTL back, and there you go. Shawnee and Joe combining for the triple. It's just Felony left in, picks up 1, has FTL available. Doesn't need to use it, finds a second, but Urban, there's just too many of them. With a second left to go, it's not really going to help Red Reserve in any means. We're going to the bike path.
Red Reserve 27 points away. And you're going to see a 67-point game here for Rise Nation.
4 payloads available for Red Reserve, 3 for Rise Nation. I feel like the baseball field, if we get to it, is going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Pacetta's been keeping that camo as well. Keep your eyes on that when it comes time for the baseball field. On the other side, no one from Red Reserve has popped their payload. Urban used an FTL jump earlier, but he's already earned it a 2nd time. This could be dangerous here for Rise in the closing moments. They have to fight for every second, and Shawnee is stalling them out under the bike path.
Yeah, all they're doing is they're just holding it, contesting. This is not changing anything. Red Reserve can say, you know what, we'll go to the bike path. We've got 4 payloads to play with. Red Reserve, Shawnee and Joe combining, but for Cento and Aqua, trading things out 2-2. This is still contested. Red Reserve only getting 3 points here, but now they start to climb. As 2 points are going to be left, they're going to opt to go for this baseball. 4 payloads against 1. You've got to favor Red Reserve, Bucket.
Absolutely. Shawnee, he's got that reactive. He's popping it now. This is going to give him streaks if he picks up the kill. He's got full streaks to work with. Even if they lose this coming off the respawn, he's got it. He's going to take out the Centurion. Aqua's payload burned in a second. Red Reserve 5 seconds away, Momo.
Yeah, really like the use of Trinity just to kind of fend them off. Felony, a last-ditch effort. He needs to go big. It's near impossible, and you're going to see why. 4 go down, and Red Reserve will take map number 1, 250 to 190. And you know what? It's a much-needed map win after what they've just suffered from E United. Can they bag themselves that 3rd seed, or 3rd position, should I say, in the pool, guaranteeing a better seed in, of course, the next tournament?
There you see the discussion. Aqua frustrated. Felony had a great game, though, and that's what I was hoping to see here. He started off strong and then kind of disappeared at times against Splice. He's been the guy who struggled on days 1 and 2, stepping up big when they need it most. But Aqua, where was he? You saw 2 players. It was Facento and Aqua, a little bit slow here to kick off the best of 5. Red Reserve showing no slowdown despite the 3-0 loss to United. Yeah,
and that's the confidence boost they needed going into the rest of this series. Rise, I felt, had all the momentum, all the confidence, and a big fat stop has been put to that right now. Going into the S&D, we know both teams are kind of specialists in this area, so don't count Rise Nation out of it just yet. But of course, Red Reserve, you know, for me, they've showed composure in this. I thought they may kind of just roll over, the communications may slack, but absolutely not.
There's a look at Aqua and Looney. Looney and Aqua, the only 2 players positive coming into day 3. Felony, -69, I believe it was, or 67. Vicento, -24 to open the day. Trying to even out those numbers, drop some big kills. Search and destroy. In the past, it was Rise Nation's bread and butter. You looked at them in stage 1 and thought, darn, this is a darn good game mode for them. Everyone is on point. So far throughout this tournament, I believe they've only won 2 of them, and a big one against Splice this morning. So Rise trying to make it happen again in game 2. But before we get to that search, let's take a moment to look back here at game number 1. What are the biggest numbers that are jumping out to you on that screen?
Straight away, Barn. You know, it kind of, when the game first came out, that was the money hill, soon obviously to be changed to baseball. But Red Reserve, they made kind of such a conscious effort to rotate early to get Barn and to push it out. That equals 90 points for them there. And actually, Rise Nation, you know, they showed that on the technical money hill baseball, they were the better team. But at the end of the day, they gave too many points away early on. Bike path as well. Big advantage to Red Reserve, but all that matters is that final score, 250 to 190.
Now, I think a lot of people are probably writing off Red Reserve in this matchup, saying, all right, Rise is going to come in and steal third place. I just got a note here from one of our admins. He says if Rise wins 3-0 or 3-1, they win the head-to-head map percentage. They lost to Red 2-3 in their first matchup, but it should be Rise with third officially. If it goes to a Game 5, we're going to have to bust out our calculators and look at map win-loss percentages. We'll keep you guys updated. For now, though, if you're a Rise fan, you're hoping they can rattle off 3 straight wins, and it's all got to start right here on Retaliation, the map that they were able to beat Splice on.
Okay, so Red Reserve, the perfect start as they take map 1. Of course, if they win, they guarantee the 3rd position. And going into Search and Destroy. This is what excites me. When you get 2 really good S&D teams head-to-head and how they break it down, how they adapt in-game as well. First of all, the Red Reserve on the attack.
And I'm wondering if Red was watching Rise to start the day. Have they learned any of the nuances of their Search and Destroy defense and attacks? You see it's Rated and Urban in the feed, but on the other side, Aqua was able to pick off 1. So that was a bit of a team kill action that's going to cost Red Reserve pretty big here. Yeah,
Urban taking down Shawnee kind of throws it off balance a little bit, and Facento taking full advantage of that, and now Rated left in a 1v3. Needs to pull off the ace as well. It's not looking good for him.
Oh, he's going to clutch this ace, no problem.
I have not much confidence in him due to where the bomb is as well.
Oh, and he's just seen 2 players, but the 3rd is going to jump out. Looney playing that short corner, finds the flank, and that is round number 1. Look at the intensity in Felony's eyes. This boy's geared up, ready to go.
Yeah, he's feeling it, and you know what? I think he's a player who really knows and understands what's on the line. I absolutely love the interview with Facento, who kind of said it would be an embarrassment to our careers going 0-6. We are not letting that happen. You know, it really shows kind of the passion and the reason why these guys actually compete, and fair play to them. They've stuck it out to the end here, and it is their last game of the week itself.
Looney, your bomb carrier, but it's Joe from Red Reserve striking first with a kill on Felony. The team shot just wrecked Felony to open things up. Shawnee's going to find Aqua, just trying to rotate out. A very aggressive defense paying dividends here as Rated looks for the final kill. Looney is going to fall from a teammate. And now it's all tied up 1-1. Very fast round here from Red.
Yeah, strong push from Red. Very concise, very, you know, constructed. I think that's Red Reserve right there. That's a game plan going into it. And it was executed very, very well. Rise Nation, though, they're going to have to... The thing that I think both teams are going to have to do is adapt mid-game to kind of the plays that each other are making. A lot of, you know, tape has been watched on either team. Red Reserve, for sure, have been watching a lot onto Rise Nation and really trying to understand the way that these guys play. And this time they're changing things up. They're going towards an A-bomb site.
Shots in the back of Facento as Urban is going to draw first blood. Red Reserve, 1 man up. Aqua's going to make it an even game. Rated falling out of the action. Bomb planted by Shawnee.
And that's something Rated has done. I saw him do it on Crusher quite a few times. He was always lingering around the opposing bomb, the one they weren't going to. But this time he's punished for it. Joe answers back to make it a 2v1 now in favor of themselves. Aqua needs to go big. He's already 4-on-1. And time again, I see this man pull off some ridiculous Search and Destroy plays. See Shawnee in the back. He needs to stay alive, and Shawnee does that. That slide should secure the round for him due to the time. But look at that, Red like a book. Not good enough, though, as Joe, the E-Rad up close, takes the fight and smiles from Joe.
Ginger Joe, he's giggling, he's loving it. Momo, I asked why you never teamed with Joe, and you said it'd just be too much red on camera.
Well, the fun fact is Joe actually replaced me on my team when I kind of left. So he was chosen over me.
His career lasted a little bit longer, but I'm glad that it happened. Now you're sitting next to me, Momo. Let's go, my friend. Aqua on your screen again to open things up. Round number 4, Rise Nation back on the attack. You can see those red arrows from Red Reserve. They all went through the hotel with the longest flank. Coming in the back here from Joe. Rise is going to strike first and second as Felony and Aqua pick up kills.
Yeah, sloppy shots from Joe, but he actually tags him enough to take him down just before. Now a 3v2 in favor of Rise Nation. They got the bomb down. There is 1 player on the flank. It's Shawnee and Rated. Sorry, 2 players. They're going to have a tough job because the location has been revealed. Rise Nation really can play just the time and the position, depending on where the bomb has been planted, of course.
not the weapon they want in this scenario. You know the pinch is going to be coming in. Rated just goes flying over the street and puts Shawnee in a 1v3. Not going to happen. Rise Nation, they get first kill, second kill, and that's going to be enough to give them the round.
Yeah, one thing I always, I'm not a fan of is when a team plants the bomb and then just kind of stacks garage. But at a 3v2 there, they kind of had the numbers to do so. I think the bomb wasn't planted for that top market as well, so they made it work right there. And they do clean up the round as well, so Red Reserve, they'll have to answer back now. But as it is tied 2-2, if you missed it, map 1-1 in favor of Red Reserve, 250 to 190, trying to make it 2-0.
Joe chucking out a grenade. We're going to see if it's going to hit anybody at the market stairs. And it looks like Rise wants to be aggressive this time on the defense. Looney draws first blood. 2 players taking fire. Rated is behind 1, but the call out is made, and it's going to be another kill now for Looney. Rise Nation coming out, little swim move from the dead body.
Very, very quick. Great first blood from Looney there. Heads up play. You know, there was a gunfight from bridge to bridge. Looney just kind of sweeps through and says, you know what, I'll come behind. Take it up close with an ERAD. There's only going to be 1 winner on that time. And for, I believe, the first time we see Red Reserve trailing in the S&D.
Staying loose is Looney. Loading up once again. Round 6, but Rise in the lead. Looney, always your bomb carrier so far this game. Facento has taken over the position in hallway, and it looks like the other 2 are going to peek bridge and then back down. But that's made 3 players rotate over to that top bridge from Red Reserve. So if you find Shawnee at the market, you are definitely going to have a free plant at the B bomb site.
The ironic thing is both teams playing so slow after 5 very fast-paced rounds. Shawnee,
he just saw some legs, I believe.
I think he saw the feet. And there you look at the minimap, number 1 and 3, they're pushing forward, Rated and Joe. The 1 player on the flank, though, is Felony Aqua. Could get some good timing, but no, caught from behind. Urban watching the back, and now the numerical advantage favors Red Reserve. And you've got Rated and Joe pushing for the flank.
And Felony doesn't know it, but there were 2 players shooting at him. He survives that initial gunfight, peaks, spots out player number 3, Joe, and will now rotate back over to Looney. They're going to try and get together before the fight. Facento wins a big one-on-one versus Urban. So that's going to tie this up 3 apiece. And you're going to see the bomb rotating over here, uncontested so far. Rated sprinting his way to get there.
Bomb is going down, and look how spread out the Red Reserve players are. You've got Shawnee tracking back from market. Joe pushing through the hotel as well. Shawnee, big first blood there in the 3v3. Felony answering back, and now Shawnee's location's revealed. For me, Rated's the key player now, but this is smart from Rise Nation. Man. They're stacking a 2v1 versus him. Shawnee can take him down. That's a big play, but Rated, he's only got 25 seconds.
But Looney has no idea where Rated is. So, in theory, Rated has the advantage. The last call out was he was in front of market. Looney's going to find him short range. NV4 from the air, not going to be able to connect. Looney hits him with the last bullet just in time.
Smart movement from Looney, keeps close quarters. Always just bobbing and weaving between some type of cover, whether it's a tank, a wall. He doesn't give the space for Rated to get that MV4 off. But I've got to think Red Reserve, their game plan there, they were all kind of spread out. They couldn't stack up. Shawnee made a very big play, not only getting the first blood in that situation, but he cleaned up 1 player in a 2v1. But Rise Nation, 4-2 in the lead here. They're looking to tie the series up. Yeah,
Red was just a little bit too spread. Rated nowhere in position to trade out with Shawnee, despite a great play off that wall. Here we go, round 7. It's going to be bomb in hands of Red Reserve. They're trying to plant at the lower street. Joe inside the hotel is going to get a call out. There's a player back Cathedral. We'll see if Rated and Joe go for the pinch on Aqua, who has rotated back to his squad.
Now the bomb is free for the plant. There's 3 players back in market. How long does Red Reserve take to actually realize this, though? Shawnee's making the play. And the bomb should be going down shortly. You've got 1 player, once again, Rated, just lingering around that opposing bomb, waiting for the flank. And this is usually when Rated pushes.
Rated's been holding that angle for so long in these search and destroy games. Fortunately, his teammates able to defend themselves. Joe and Shawnee picking up kills before Facento drops Shawnee. Aqua is there now, though, and this is going to get tough. 2-on-2 for Aqua and Facento going up against Rated and Urban. Bomb planted, and Facento is left alone.
Urban makes a good play. Facento not only picks up 1, but he gets away. A 1v1. We talked about Urban. It was on this map. He won 2 back-to-back. Can he make it a 3rd? 10 seconds. He just needs to play the clock.
And he saw Facento. Doesn't know where he's at, but the time is there. this round going to Red Reserve despite the kill for Vicento. The good news, if you're Rise, you got a little bit closer to that camo.
Yeah, a little bit closer to the camo. I think he's 100 as well off a Scarab. But the round does go in favor of Red Reserve. Urban plays it smartly. And we see a very, very close game. It wouldn't surprise me if this goes the full 11 rounds.
There's the fire from Vicento. They want to avoid going the distance. Do not want to risk it and go to a game 5. Close this out in 4 is the plan. You got to start it right here. Now, Looney, we were talking about Vicento's run, but Looney has scored some Trinity Rockets for his efforts in the last 3 rounds.
Aqua reads the play from Rated. Not sure if Rated's planned that. Again, it's just very aggressive when the 3 players are all still pretty much back in spawn, and Rated's managed to make his way to the opposing team's spawn. Questionable, to say the least. Looney under fire, though. He's going to get taken down. Long-range gunfight from Shawnee does even up this into a 3v3. It looks like the plan for Rise Nation is the A site.
And you can see the players just stalling this one out.
B site.
Red now forced into action. I like them both equally.
A and B.
Here's the push down low. They know there's going to be a player sat up in the garage somewhere. And look at the Red Reserve play. They're just going to jump this. We saw it on day 1. That's how they closed out their search on Breakout this time. They get caught just in time by Vicento. 22 seconds left. It's down to a 1-on-1. Don't do it to him.
I love it.
They're doing it to him again, Momo.
Oh, my goodness. The one thing that I said, Joe actually, ironically enough, sent a DM to TP. He was like, yo, I was listening to you. You're right. No one does check the bomb. Let's just defuse it. They don't try it once in a round. They just try it twice. And the funny thing was that Shawnee had the reactive. He could have played that reactive to win the 1v1 and then defuse, but no. He saves it. He picks up the round.
Momo, talk us through a little bit. For anyone who's a new player to Search and Destroy, how rare is it to see players jumping on a bomb before the final kill is scored?
Well, through the whole year, up until this week, we've not really seen it at all. You know, it was a thing, you know, in previous Call of Duties where we saw it, you know, every now and again, maybe once every full S&D, but it didn't usually pay off. This time, though, Red Reserve must have done it, I'm saying 6-7 times this event. Reactive from Shawnee could be popped at any moment as he's looking for all players around Garage. Joe is going to be tagged up, and Aqua will find Shawnee. So no reactive for Red Reserve this round. It's going to come down to a 3-on-3 after Joe opens it up. Gets all of his health back, survives the bullets, and now Rated is bought time to get in, but it's up to Urban as Joe and Rated fall a 1v2. Yeah, smart play from Joe just to kind of wait for Rated. The teammate comes in. However, now left in a 2v1, Urban, very, very difficult position. The bomb is out of place. However, you do see both players, Felony and Aqua, backing down. Felony, 1 kill away from his payload. Aqua's already got his. I'm not surprised. 11 kills to his name and another search and destroy. But how does he play this? With 20 seconds left. He's got a free kill here. Doesn't hit the shots. Whiffs just wide right for a few there on Aqua. Here's the re-engagement. Aqua wins it at short range. And that will do it for the round. Rise Nation on game point. They could tie it up right here. I believe they still have the Trinity Rockets to work with from Looney. They still have Trinities. Aqua has the Centurion, I believe. Red Reserve back against the ropes here. They do still have reactive, I believe, from Shawnee. I don't think he used it down at the garage. He does, so they've got reactive. Aqua with the Centurion, Vicento with the camo, most importantly. And here we go. It's Rise on the attack. Red Reserve. You see the 2-2 split. Joe watching the long crossover at bridge. That's an unusual position for us to find him. Normally that's Rated over there. And here come the bombs. Looney gets the call. Misses Urban, but finds Joe. So first blood, Rise Nation. Joe caught off guard as well. And Joe was the player that was around Graveyard as well. So to kind of get this down is so big. Now a 4v3. They've got Centurion down on the bomb. Very, very hard to kind of get away from this. Rated actually takes it down. Ballsy play because he reveals his location. Reactive armor used efficiently. Can he find a second? He sees Looney. You don't want a team shoot just there. Can Red Reserve do it again? Are they just going to hop on the bomb? I was going to say he ninja'd just a round ago. Just went straight for the jump. This time, Vicento
He is cleaned up. Urban and Shawnee clutching up big. After losing Joe, Red Reserve stays up with the remaining 3 players and takes this to a round 11.
So Rise uses Trinity Rocket. They get first blood. They use their Centurion. They have the bomb down, and they lose the round. Yes, Shawnee invested his reactive. So that's everything gone for Red Reserve. I'm not sure.
Was the camo burned by Vicento?
I don't think it was used. We will find out very, very shortly, because he was the man watching the flank. He's still got it.
Got it.
And Felony's one away from whatever he's
just the FTL jump. It's not going to be a huge difference maker here in Search. At least I haven't seen Felony using it exceptionally well up to this point.
Red Reserve, though, they're sticking together. They're pushing it. And this is... Oh, did he see Aqua? That was the question. I think he did. Due to the peak there, Shawnee's going to be spotted, but look at that. Sliding in and rated with the first blood. Everyone's seen the stats of how important first bloods are, but Camo has been used, but he's not been spotted. It's a blind Camo. He's got to slide out. He is going to find one, but the assist only coming in. Felony trading up a 3v2 now, making a 2v2 Puckett.
Rated should have had that kill. He was dodging around the bridge, but it's Felony in a 1v2 FTL jump battle, and it's going to be won by Urban. Red Reserve takes the 2-0 lead, winning back-to-back rounds to steal retaliation.
Composure at its finest there from Red Reserve. They were 5-4 down, backs against the wall. Trinity Rockets coming in, Centurion's available. And the crazy thing is, you know, and understandably in a way, there's no huge celebrations. It doesn't mean anything regarding playoffs, but they're one map away from securing that 3rd place. Aqua looks like frustration.
Look how angry he is right now on that main stage. And we saw what happened when Aqua had a great series yesterday to open things up. He took to Twitter just saying, I don't know why I practice this hard. Rise Nation, they've had a frustrating weekend, and this would be a terrible way to close it out. You give yourselves a chance going up against Splice, 3-0ing them to start the day. Now you're about to get 0-3 swept by Red Reserve, who really is coming off a brutal beating against E United. Will Red be able to close this out and lock in 3rd place? We'll find out after this. Welcome back. This could be the final game for Red Reserve and Rise Nation here in Week 3. It's the yellow group of Stage 2, the Call of Duty World League Global Pro League, presented by PlayStation 4. Red Reserve, they're looking to lock up third place in this group and guarantee that they won't have to play a top 4 finisher from Stage 1 when it comes time for group stages at COD Champs. Trying to make that road as easy as possible. They're already in a tough position, but after winning a Game 1 Hardpoint and then coming back in Game 2, they're looking prime for victory here on Uplink Throwback.
Well, can they close it out here is the question. Rise Nation's Uplink, you know, today we've seen some signs of light. It's very, very good. You know, it can be even better. However, another miss coming in from Felony. Is Aqua going to be able to clean up? No is the answer, as Raided cleans that one up. We've seen, obviously, and what I wanted to touch on, obviously, Rise versus Splice on Frost, and they were fantastic. The slaying was on point. They just swept Splice aside.
I think the difference on that map was you had a lot of short-range battles in close, I guess, corridors, a lot of tunnels throughout Frost where they were able to take it to Splice. Here on Throwback, we've seen guys like Raided drop massive numbers. When he was on Elevate in Stage 1, this is where Raided topped the leaderboard. I think it was 37 kills on Throwback Uplink. We'll see what he can do in this game here as it's Rise striking first. Red constantly forced back into their spawn, and you are going to see Felony lighten them up on the left side. There's not enough support, though, to threaten a point, but he does buy time for his teammates to get to the center of the map. These next gunfights are going to be crucial for either team. Looks like Red coming out on top so far.
Joe trying to go high, but Aqua and Felony double up 2 apiece there, and now can start another push. Well, another couple of points, put them in a good position. This is exactly what they did against Splice. They had such a strong start. They got those early points, and Felony, 4-kill streak, 10 to his name, make it a 5. And just like that, Red Reserve, they're swept, and Felony, he's going back for more.
And if this was Felony on day 1 and 2, you see Rise Nation going to the playoffs. He was kind of their weak link in this tournament, surprisingly for me.
Yeah.
And it has cost them. They are now fighting for their lives, facing elimination and a 4th place finish here in Week 3. Aqua on your screen. Their lead slayers from day 1 and 2. Will he be able to find more kills? No, he's cut down. Shawnee's going to toss this one up, and one thing that separates Red Reserve from the other squads in Uplink is their passes. For me, I was so impressed with some of the passes they showed early on day 1.
2 go down at the side. He's just going straight for it. A 1-point potential, and there you go. Shawnee has the eyes on the prize there. Joe starting 1 and 8. He's been so good throughout day 2 and day 3. Hopefully he'll pick it up. There's a kill for him, making it 2 and 3. Onto Faceno, and Red Reserve starting to get some rhythm in this game. That drone lingering around the barn area. Red Reserve will want to get rid of that as soon as possible. But the pressure is being put on. Urban on the top side of the minimap. Rated is combining at the bottom side with Joe as well, and it seems to be working for them.
Here comes that drone. It's in the hands of Shawnee. Player 4 on the mini-map. He is threatening inside the base. Will they go for the dunk? Yes, it's going to be cleared by Joe, who picks up the double. Shawnee slams this one down. 3-2. Red takes lead.
Well, Joe had a slow start. He kicks that off with a 5-kill streak as soon as we mention it. Still 6 and 9, and Shawnee last alive. He'll be just wanting to delay the push here from Rise Nation. If he can stay alive, this is huge for Red Reserve. But Rise driving that drone towards top green and towards barn as well. Felony's too good with his weapon right now. He just wants to keep slaying, but he's denied by Rated.
And Rated just went clutch there. 3 straight kills, including the smack in Looney's face to close it out. He's halfway to a camo. On the other side, keep your eyes on Vicento. He's just over about 20%, as he will have his work cut out for him.
One thing I do want to see this game is Rated and that camo. We've seen twice already. 2 Uplink games with Red Reserve end, and he's still not used his camo. They've lost both of them. I'd like to see that change for Red Reserve. Hopefully they've learned their lesson. Urban's actually going to take down Rated as Looney, going for maybe this high 1-point play over the top of the canvas, but he's feeling confident. He should be. He's going for the 2-point play. He's going to secure it, taken down straight after, but the Rise Nation, they'll take the lead here once again.
And I was going to say, can we go to Aqua's screen, please? The man is on a 6 spree. And finally will be cut down, but he just got 4 kills and ended up making it 6 in a row as that dunk came through. Aqua and Felony, we're watching a lot of the objective, but look out for Arrow 7 and Arrow 8 on your mini-map. They are doing work in this first half.
Yeah, slaying aside here. They're doing everything for the team. Felony really showing up here on day number 3. Aqua's going to find another straight under the bomb, maybe traded out by Felony, working as that duo, but the drone, it's going to be dropped, and Red Reserve, they should be able to clear this away with only 5 seconds left on the first half. 1 point separates the teams. We've had close games throughout. Search and Destroy, of course, going all the way. Hardpoint was won by Red Reserve with a 60-point lead. Rise Nation, they're trying to battle back. They need the reverse sweep.
Felony and Aqua leading the way. Both players nearing 20 points as the first half ends. You need more out of Vicento. You need a little bit more out of Looney. For Red Reserve, everyone's about near even except for Joe. Joe, if he can get it going and cancel out Looney's efforts in the SMG world, it'll be Red taking game 3.
The one thing I will say about this map and mode combined, it can be very difficult sometimes with, you know, that entry kind of play, and you can see that both from Looney and Joe. So I do kind of sympathize, as that kind of was my role as well. But Looney, he's got objective on his mind, and that is all he wants. He's going to convert that into a 1-point play. And you know what, Looney, he's got all 5 of their points for his team. So far, not too bad at all. If this keeps going with a slain of Felony Aqua, the objective of Looney and Vicento just filling in the gaps, they're looking strong. Aqua's actually just used his payload as well. Overdrive is enabled, and this could be another dunk. It should be, and it will be there as he's going to slide that in for number 7.
And he is going to find kills on the way down. Stop short of the Trinity Rockets, though, so no real score streaks to speak of. Looney has won the gunfight both times against Joe. Keep your eyes on that battle in the kill feed. Joe coming off spawn finds Vicento, and that is going to be a stuffed point. Still a 2-possession game. Red Reserve needs a double dunk to tie things up. This could be their first opportunity. Urban needs a wave of kills. As they lose Shawnee, they may need to wait and regroup.
Yeah, I was going to say, Urban, it might be the time to drop that drone and start picking up some kills himself. He's going to go high over the drone, trying to draw some players out. He does have Rated just alongside him on that bridge. Rated picks up 1, and now Urban decides to maybe juke them out a little bit. He's going to regroup. 2 players go down, a 1-point potential. But no, he's still feeling confident. He's going to throw it, but a very sloppy throw.
Alley-oop
but actually
missed.
Oh, Joe sneaking through from behind. Maybe it was a manual pass. The communication could have been there, but it doesn't convert either way.
It was a near connection. I think that was a manual pass attempt. Joe, you saw him. He was going up for the alley-oop. Like, he expected the pass to kind of track to him. And that drone falls at their feet. Missed opportunity for Red Reserve. This should have been a 5-7 game. Instead, it is 8-3 as Rise Nation, they just come and counter with that toss from Aqua.
Strong plays from Rise Nation. Red Reserve, they're not slowing down in the slaying department. That coming from Rated and Urban. But so far, a 5-point difference with 3 minutes left on the clock is looking good for Rise Nation. Red Reserve, they need something. They need to just calculate a couple more kills together. And Aqua, Felony, they're 2 plays which are just not letting it happen.
And Urban's not a guy that normally misses that opportunity. He had first shots into Aqua, who just turns and destroys him. Red Reserve starting to slow down. And now you see Urban making up for it. A big double kill will clear the base and keep that to a 1-point score. Rise Nation, they are still in total control, though, leading by 6.
And all these 1-point plays, some people, you know, would question it and think maybe you should go for them, but they all add up. They put the pressure on, and of course, adds that score up as well. Nice double from Joe. Felony shuts him down as well. But this is the story of Red Reserve in this uplink, is they're making their kills, they're pushing forward, but they're not being able to convert those points. Now a 3-possession game with 2 minutes left to go. You've got Aqua dropping 30 kills with nearly a 2.0 KD ratio. Phenomenal stuff from him.
He's still got 1:50 to go as well. Aqua putting on a show for us all. Vicento has 2 lined up, but can't pick off the injured player first, and he will be downed. Felony and Aqua trying to play defense. Shawnee says, I'll see you later, Aqua. It's only Felony in position. Shawnee clears up both. Now the spawns are coming in. Player number 5, Vicento, is going to try and loop behind this drone. And Vicento picking up Rated there is going to stop the push.
Just strong defense from Rise Nation. Time and time again. That's 3 players down. They push forward and they don't convert. Again, 2 players go down. They can't convert. And I don't actually discredit the Red Reserve team for that. As such, I more credit Rise Nation for their defense, their tracking back, and just their overall teamwork. Really, really strong stuff here.
Good call-outs lead to a good kill from Aqua. Vicento with drone is going to find a free kill out in the open. Tagged up from the center. He challenges, and Urban melted again. Urban's your most positive player right there, but Vicento makes him look rough. Another slap coming in from Looney. Joe backing up. Red Reserve will find 2. and that will stop the drone. 45 seconds to go. This is all Rise Nation's game.
Yeah, and we talked about, you know, with 3 minutes left, it was a 2-possession game. With 2 minutes left, it's a 3-possession game. Now with 30 seconds, it's almost over. Joe, he has the payload, and we talked about Raided, how he had such a hot start, and about that camo. It looks like he's not even going to get to it.
Joe popping his overdrive, not able to do anything with it. Drone stalled out. Payloads won't come in. And this is going to be the game. 15 seconds away. Let's see how many kills Aqua can put up on the leaderboard. He's at 32. Felony right behind him at 27. Looney and Facento objective-minded as they will take game number 3 and keep their hopes of 3rd place alive.
It's definitely not over yet. We've seen 2 3-0s already today. Not in this game. We're pushing it to a game 4 minimum. Or can Rise Nation pull off the reverse sweep and secure that 3rd place finish?
And this is how you win hard points. This is how you win uplinks. You get Aqua and Felony going off early. At the half, it was 19 kills for Aqua, I believe 17 for Felony. Both players setting the tone early on. You never let Joe get behind you, cause problems with that SMG. The base was always clear, and every time Red Reserve tried to push in, it was ARs waiting for him.
Just strong defense all round from Rise Nation. And, you know, when Rise were on the aggression, you know, they were being very, very aggressive as a team. They were pushing kind of the choke points and just converting that 1 point after 1 point after 1. They missed a cut. I think they missed 1, actually.
Just at the start.
But throughout that, those points add up. You know, if you can convert that, get those score streaks. We saw, obviously, I think Looney working towards Scarus. We didn't really see it in the game, and it wasn't changing the game at all. But they got the payloads first. You know, they could utilize overdrive. That got them a dunk as well. It all adds up, and Uplink, it's about those kills, that slaying power. Rise Nation showing it once again.
We looked at all the numbers coming into the day. Uplink was Rise's best game mode. They are now 4-2 after all 6 matches, after all 6 games, so definitely been their strongest suit. Hardpoint, though, it's been their weakest. We'll get to those numbers in a moment, but first, let's take a look back here at the Uplink. Rise, 4 points in the first half. 5 unanswered points in the second half was the difference maker, and look at those numbers from Aqua.
Crazy thing is with Aqua is his Uplink performance has been phenomenal, but his hardpoint, it's almost been the opposite, especially today. I'd say day 1, he was kind of that player alongside Looney in consistency, but his hardpoint, he's just been almost the weak link of this squad, where Felony stepped it up, he's kind of dropped down. And if this Rise Nation, you know, all 4 players play on, you know, their full capability, that's when they can win tournaments, such as Vegas. Retail Hardpoint is coming up next. And of course, if we need it, Crusher, Search, and Destroy.
Which, Aqua, that's what the map he put a show on yesterday.
His S&D's great.
Will he be able to do it again? If it gets to that game 5, Rise needs to win Retail first. Remember, whoever wins this match, they lock up 3rd here for week 3. We're all heading into Call of Duty World League Championships at the end of the year. $1.5 million on the line. It starts with group stages. If you make it out of your groups, you're in the bracket, and from the bracket, that's where you win the big bucks and the rings. Both teams will be in attendance. We know they won't be in playoffs, but they're playing for pride and, of course, setting themselves up for the biggest moment of the year. We go into game 4, though. It's throwback once again. And talk to me a little bit about this map.
I believe I thought it was Retaliation.
Excuse me, it should be Retaliation. I got thrown off by the video. This map was beautiful. You guys saw it.
It is
map
nice.
number 1. And we're gonna see that later when we check out E United versus Splice. But for now, let's go to Retaliation. This is where the search happened. And it was Red Reserve stealing the game.
Yeah, all eyes on Aqua for me. He's been great in S&D, great in Uplink, but his hardpoint has been a little bit sloppy. He's opting for an MV4 off the bat here. Doesn't surprise me. But if he can perform, I think Rise Nation push this to a game 5.
It's Looney and Felony to open it up, right? So this is exactly like Rise Nation versus Red in the first map, but it was Red who then won the rotations and was able to run away with our initial hard point. So far, it is all Rise Nation. Only 2 kills scored for Red Reserve.
Looney is working towards those streaks already. He's 4-0, 25 away from that Scarab. Grenade's going to hit him on the toe as he slides away. He's going to be taken down by Joe. So no score streaks for him. That does help Red Reserve, but another 3 kills back-to-back. That only feeds Rise Nation more points on the board. 12 seconds and the rotation's going to come in, and we are going to see Rise Nation take the lead roughly at around 30 points.
And that was a massive kill by Aqua. If you don't get that kill on Urban in the 1v1, this is now Red Reserve coming into the next hard point, basically tied score. Instead, you got a 26-point advantage. The bad news, Red, they set up first, so you have to break if you rise. 2 players get the market spawn. We'll keep our eyes on Felony and Facento as they attack from the market stairs. It's Looney and Aqua pushing the hotel.
6-0 for Aqua, 75 away. He needs this kill. I say need, it will just help him when it comes to the Cathedral. When it comes to the bridge, he gets it, and that bombardment is secured with a 7-kill streak. He started 7-on-1, and Rise Nation, they take over this lower street now. Still slaying very, very heavy. This is when Rise Nation are at their best.
Facento getting chased down in the middle as Red will retake the hill control with 20 points still to go. There's one more challenger. Looney down low is looking for the pick. Shawnee should be able to help out, but Joe doesn't need any. Red is locking it down. Shawnee and Joe winning their individual battles. And now Red Reserve will be threatening to tie it up if they can win this next gunfight for the Cathedral. Big
play from Shawnee. He tags 2, takes 1 down. Urban as well. And this is where the perfect pinch comes into place. And Facento, he is literally in an absolute nightmare of a spot. Red Reserve there played that perfectly. And it came once again from Shawnee. And you know what? It's not the first time I've seen that happen on this map. Here comes the streaks.
Yeah, so Aqua is waiting for Facento to spawn. They have all 4 players up, and now you see it's Aqua, Facento, and Aqua again in the kill feed. That first rocket from Aqua, a headshot. Joe, the last one remaining between 4 blue arrows. He is eliminated. 3-man push from the bridge versus 4 Rise members that are all looking your direction.
And the crazy thing is that 1 kill that got them those streaks towards the bridge for Aqua, you know, this is 30 points that's going to go in favor of Rise Nation, which actually would have gone in favor of Red. That's a 60-point difference here between the 2 teams. Very, very tough here. And Rise Nation, they'll take the lead, rated 1 and 8 as we go into...
I wasn't going to say anything. Rated was telling me he's gassed today. He's feeling it. He's ready to go. Didn't have the most impressive series against E United.
Oh,
and
nice.
Here he is with a rough start to a game number 4. Aqua, I don't see too many players blowing themselves up with their own bombardment, but the rocket barrage will clean him up.
I mean, if you take some with you, not a problem, but if it's just you taken down, big, big waste. For me as well, I actually don't like, I think the bombardment for me saved that for Cathedral. I think it was a very big risk to kind of play it on this map. There's a lot of cover, and Red Reserve, they're going to take full advantage of that. You can see Urban trying to get a line of sight. He's got the mid-hallway. He's got curve as well, but what he doesn't anticipate is a high wall run coming in as well. Can he find a couple on the flank? There's 1 player just around this corner. He will spot him. Already weak is Aqua.
And Facento did just drop Joe. I was keeping my eyes on Joe. He was kind of the key lead defender there. Player number 7 on the mini-map, and we'll see where he spawns up. And excuse me, player number 3 on the minimap. Joe went up against number 7 Felony, and Joe won that fight, then got a second, locked in the broken. And he's that guy. He's the X factor. When Joe goes off, you're winning your respawns.
Yeah, Joe really is kind of that player. We talked about Aqua being that, you know, that key player as well, and you know what? He's performing. The problem is Felony, who's been great all day, he's had a slow start. However, there's plenty of time to get back into this. We're going to the hotel hallway now before we head back to the bridge, where maybe those streaks may have been a little bit more efficient. 3 go down. Strong stuff from Rated. Aqua answers back, but only a trade comes in. Red Reserve, they're going to bag themselves at least another couple of, well, should be 10 maybe points here. 10-15. Does the challenge come in, though?
Urban was 1 kill away from getting his Trinity rocket. He stopped. But now you see Rated playing a little bit more greedy. Look at his interactions. He only has 14 interactions on the map compared to Urban's 24. Rated is slowing down the pace, and he is fighting for every inch of these score strengths. He is going to pick up the last seconds, and you are going to see the rotation coming down. If he can pick up player 6 right here, things will be looking up for Red.
Yeah, really strong, and he will find it. The one thing is, I'd love him to play for these Scorches and Bombardment. He doesn't need to be the player just to rush in, and he doesn't even need to be. His team have got that locked down. I'd love to see him just almost play a corner, get another kill, and wait for these streaks to happen, because when this comes again, oh, he's going to use him. Trinity rocket.
He's only 25 from the Scorchers, might as well, right?
There's 2 players going for the wall run, jumping on down. He will find him, and he will tag him up. The Scorchers will be big, and he's going to secure the bombardment. You've got to favor Red Reserve now, 180 to 95. This is a very strong show, and this could be the end here. 8 kill streak, Puckett.
Yeah, we saw Rise Nation putting the 100-point club on breakout earlier in the tournament. It's looking like they'll break out of the 100-point club here, but it's been all Red Reserve. Can Rise mount the comeback like United did against them on day 1? We're about to find out.
Aqua most definitely stepping it up here. But it's very, very difficult when you've got a few players unable to drop those kills. This is the man on your screen who's been making the difference, but Shawnee, he denies him that. Urban's going to deny Looney, and now breaking the 200-point mark is going to be Red Reserve. And you know what? They don't need to rotate. They've got the bombardment, they've got Scorchers, and now Urban's getting FTL, everything's clicking. Look at Urban and Shawnee, 17 kills apiece, make it 18, why don't you?
On the other side, you only have 7 kills from Facento, and the guy we were gassing, Felony, he's at 8 and 16. You got a 0.5 KD.
And as well, we were talking about they don't need to rotate. They're actually, ironically, going to have the rotation coming into this if they keep this 22 seconds. They don't really need to play for this last 20, but with the way they're playing, they're looking to gun them down. And Shawnee, he just has that eye on the prize once again. This is smart from Joe. Just hold the angles.
22 points to go. You just lost Rated. Joe, though, gets there and cleans up Looney. So you keep the spawns. At least for now. The battle is going to be coming from the market. Rated choosing to use the bombardment now. Is this too early?
Well, he forces them out. That's one thing, but he's using it just on the crossover. He picks up 2. It was questionable, but it all works out for them. They're looking to close things out here on the Cathedral. They have everything playing for. The Scorchers are going to cut 2 more down. Rated, he started slow. Doesn't have the highest interactions, but with kill streaks like that, which are contributing so much, they're looking to end it right here.
Johnny's been the guy all game long, dropping 21 kills. Only Aqua has a higher number for Rise Nation, but Rise, they are running out of time. Their opponents need just 11 points. Looney inside the hill right now, trying to stay alive. Pressure from all directions. He's already injured. He's going to lose the gunfight. It's Rated breaking through. The FTL jump to celebrate from Urban as he jumps back on his wall run. 3, 2, 1. Here comes the challenge. Rise is in there, but not for long. 250, 134. Red Reserve takes 3rd place with the 3-1 victory.
See it just on the kill cam once again. For me, that last say 60% of the game, Rated really was kind of the game changer. He was the one who collectively got those streaks. He used them at the right time. The bombardment picks up 2. The Scorchers pick up 2. It denies the break onto the Cathedral. Even the Trinity rocket towards the bridge, he picks up 1 with that as well. So well played all round from Red Reserve. And they close things out for me on the hard point. You know, it's stating the obvious, but winning those 2 hard points in the fashion that they did solidifies that point and solidifies that 3rd place finish.
Most importantly for me, Red Reserve dodged a Crusher search and destroy yeah. Where we know what Aqua and Rise Nation can do. But at the end, it's red for EU, locking up 3rd place in our yellow group. And here to break it all down for us, we got Benson and crew at the desk.
Thank you very much, Puckett. Congratulations to Red Reserve. Of course, they will clinch that 3rd place spot. And many people may say, oh, it doesn't really matter. Well, it does, of course, in terms of seeding for the Call of Duty World Championship in a few weeks' time. That is a big result for them. For Rise, however, a little unfortunate, Joe, because they did start the day very well, but unfortunately weren't able to carry it through.
Yeah, definitely. I think this was a completely different Rise. Again, you saw Felony kind of go back to how he was performing this weekend. You know, his first game today, he played very well. Facendo, right. Sort of the same thing. Aqua had a slow game number 1. Again, it just seemed like Rise, they weren't all together once again. It's really just been the story of the weekend for them.
And talking a little bit about game number 1, of course, it was throwback Hardpoint, 250 to 190 to Red Reserve. And to be fair, Matt, I don't think many people would have expected that, considering, of course, Rise Nation come off their first win. They have a momentum. Of course, Red Reserve, 5 minutes prior to actually starting, just realized they didn't qualify for Stage 2.
Yeah, I'm surprised how fast Red Reserve was able to just turn this around. You know, after such a crushing loss to United, obviously knowing their fate, not getting towards that top 2, they're able to come back. They take game number 1. I think it just proves, though, like when Aqua doesn't play great, I think you were talking about, you know, he just didn't have a great game number 1. This team really struggles to pick up wins.
Yeah, very true. And then, of course, looking forward at map number 2, the Search and Destroy. Goes the distance to round 11. Red Reserve do take it, but I feel like if you go back and you take a look at round 10, it kind of summed up Rise Nation's weekend. They have the man advantage. They get first blood. They use a streak. They use their payload, and they still lose the round. Heartbreaking stuff.
It's just so much invested utility, and And man, on the side of Aqua, then he has a good game and they're not able to close it out. It just, for whatever reason, this Rise Nation roster, when it comes down to those clutch scenarios, just can't seem to put it together when everything is pointing towards them. The fact that they can use a streak and use so many things that are deemed quote-unquote overpowered and still lose the round is, well, it's kind of sad to watch at times.
You got to win that round. When you invest so much into one round of search and destroy, you got to close it out, and they didn't, and then they lose the round 11. And I think this is it's a Rise Nation team. Look, they're stuck going into champs. Like, this is going to be their roster. They need to just figure everything out, whether it's, switching some players and guns or doing some other things strategy-wise.
I'm just confused about that round because they used a Trinity to open it up. Instead, they do have a camo. Like, why don't you open it up with that camo on that bridge, able to get that first pick, get the bomb down, and then back up and use your Trinity? Again, just some of those small decisions. Yes, they did get first blood with the Trinity rocket, but that's still allowed sort of red. They were still alive in a 3v4 situation. They sort of know where they're going to sit in post-plant situations where if you do have that Trinity rocket, it's probably a free 2 to 3 kills. I mean, just some questionable decisions.
And bear in mind, the camo play wasn't exactly perfect when it was used. Either a blind camo, he gets a little bit lucky that there was a player still on the bomb, does find a kill either way. But 2-0 up to Red Reserve. At that point, we go over to the uplink, and this is where Rise do fight back a little bit. 9-3 victory for them. Pretty convincing. Of course, in terms of the defensive play, Matt, that was really what impressed us the most about Rise.
Yeah, they did a great job in the defensive end, holding off in their base, picking up the kills, rotating back to their goal. I mean, you see Aqua here, 33 kills, 1.57. You can see why they win this game. He just completely dominated, and I think this is probably Red Reserve's weakest game mode. I think this is the game mode, like, if they want to really make a run deep at champs later in the year, they're going to have to get better in uplink.
I think one of the bright sides for Rise, if you can pick one throughout this weekend as well, is the uplink. At least today looked pretty darn good. They had a really solid performance on that Frost earlier versus Splice. So I guess uplink's working for them. Aqua just completely decimating people in the kill category, ending that one with 33 kills. So some things are going right for Rise, but it still just goes down to those clutch scenarios when, those uplinks are easy when you're up by, what, like 6-7 points, so.
I mean, Red Reserve, if they want to be an elite contender, you have to win game number 3. I feel like game number 3 is really that momentum shift we talk about. If Red Reserve is able to sort of win that first game in a hardpoint against a top team, we know their search and destroy is good. You can't allow a top team back into a series with uplink. Definitely the one game mode that has to put a lot of work into.
And that kind of is summed up by just the sheer amount of game 5s that we seem to go to. Not even just here this week. You go back and you look at past couple of events, they're consistently going to those game 5s. So
can't win them all.
Exactly.
Not win all those game 5s.
Exactly. How good
the world's best teams. You can't do
that. Exactly that. Moving forward in the series, Retail Hardpoint was, of course, game 4, and this one was closed out in extraordinary fashion by Red Reserve, 250 to 134. Key thing to really note is Broken Hill, 58 points to 0. If you're Rise Nation, you can't let that happen.
Oh, most definitely not. But overall, Aqua Show once again on the side of Rice. Rated actually started very, very slow in that one, but able to pick it up. Ended with a 1.67, and his streaks at the end. We've seen it so many times on Retaliation. When you have that Trinity over towards that bridge side, it's so easy to close out.
We usually say that Grave is the most important hill on that map. Rise Nation wins it pretty big, but they get 3 seconds in Hotel Hallway, nothing by Broken. They get completely destroyed in those 2 hills. That's where the game's lost.
Definitely is. Congratulations once again to Red Reserve. They do clinch the 3rd seed, which will be important moving to the Call of Duty World Championships. But moving forward, of course, we still do have one more matchup to be played. But before we touch on that one, of course, which is for the #1 seed, score streak prediction game. I love it.
Yeah, buddy.
You guys enjoy it too. We'll see what the highest streak is in a little bit. But here are the questions we asked in map #1. Who will lead Red Reserve in hardpoint time in game 1? C, you're wrong. It was D. It was Urban.
I thought it was B.
A minute 51. I feel like Urban has had a pretty decent event. Shawnee as well has been a big name we've been preaching.
But for hardpoint time, I would 100% pick Joe for that sort of category. 40% of you picked B. It's a smart call, but I guess, hey, we got it wrong.
He had like 3 minutes, I'm pretty sure, on a throwback hardpoint.
An extraordinary amount of time. Moving forward, map #2, we asked how many bombs will be planted in game 2.
That's a tough one.
The correct answer was 5 or more. There was 7 overall planted, 47%.
I don't blame the people here. This is impossible to predict.
50-50. Flip a coin.
I don't even know if we tracked that. I'm surprised we knew that.
Okay.
Perfect.
We could have made that up.
Fantastic. Thanks for that.
Never known.
So glad you're in the desk.
For how Infinite Warfare plays in Search, I'm taking that high number every single time. I'm taking the over for bombs.
Yeah,
100%.
you going for it? Over?
Especially on Retaliation.
On Retaliation, yeah.
Fair enough.
Throwback, I would have said no.
Moving forward, we'll take a look at what we asked in map number 3. It was, which team will win game 3? Well, that's an original question. 50-50% chance, Rise or Red Reserve. 45% of you said Rise, and 45% of you were, of course, correct. So congratulations on that. To the point Merc kind of made earlier on when we're summarizing the series with Red Reserve's Uplink, I probably would have gone with that as well. They've not looked too good in that series, or in that game type, I should say. But we'll take a look now at our leaderboard, and at the very top, we have a 9 streak coming through. Okay, so not the highest we've seen, of course, it's just 13, but 9 still impressive, Merc.
Oh, absolutely. I'm watching out for Flex Shadows. He's flexing. He's on his way up. I think he's going to be in first place by the end of this weekend.
Fair enough.
Death 1997-2. Where's Death 1997-1?
True.
The two people born in 1997.
Is that like a typo? Did he mess up his birth year or something?
It makes one account forgets a password.
Oh, God. Probably. Of course, you can play the Score Street prediction game exclusively at MLG.tv/COD. Up-to-date event statistics. You have your featured player POVs and that fantastic source quality. But moving forward, as we said, there's still one more game to be played. And boy, oh boy, is it a big one. E-United versus Splice. This is for the #1 seed. And I feel like it's a tale of two sides, really. For Splice, they haven't looked too good. For E-United, they've looked absolutely fantastic. Teep, who's your pick?
So a little bit of insight. Zero was up here talking to us a little bit of why Splice is struggling so much, and they said they changed a lot, sort of changing their practice to cater towards Epsilon. And I looked at him and I said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You're one of the best teams in the world. Why are you catering to a lesser team? Doesn't make any sense to me, but overall, I'm taking E-United in this series due to that fact Splice doesn't look good today.
Why would they cater their play to beat Epsilon? Epsilon's a fantastic team, but it's one team. Like,
apparently
it's
it's because
because
got first and you got second, and then
you were doing pretty good.
did real good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change nothing.
Yeah, you kept on playing.
Come on, shooting people.
Stay at the top. I mean, of course, we have seen this series once already. United came out with a 3-1 victory. The only map Splice won was the map to Search and Destroy, which was a throwback. Obviously, you had a quick glance there at the maps, Merc. Does that change your opinion on this? I mean, for Splice to take the #1 seed, they need a 3-0 here.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because it happened to them